Hello there, my name is Kevin O'Malley, welcome back to my channel, and in this little video I'm just going to go through some of Saturday's racing, mainly and only the ITV races. It's my first look at these races, so if you're looking at them for the first time, so am I. We've obviously got the Irish 2000 Guineas over at the Curragh, and we've got the Temple Stakes at Haydock, one or two races at Goodwood as well. But I'm just looking at these literally for the first time. I've got a little document here just for any notes I'm going to take, but just a little bit of short listing just to go over what I think are the obvious players and one or two that we can rule out and stuff like that to maybe help you just start to get a leg up on the main races on Saturday, really, well in advance of the racing. Should we start with the Irish 2000 Guineas? I think we will. Why not? I'm not going to be one of those guys that says, oh, make sure you wait till the end to get to the Irish 2000 Guineas. Obviously, the elephant in the room is Field of Gold, second in the Newmarket version of the 2000 Guineas. Ran a cracking race. Some people believe he was unlucky not to win. A little bit of jockeyship. The difference could have been on the day. I have opposing views on that, really. On the whole, I would agree that William Buick probably would have won on both horses. Let's just go through the short list in here. We've got 9 runners. Let's just go through my shortlisting process. Obviously, Field of Gold has to be on the short list. Cosmic Year, clocked a good speed figure there. Stepping up to a mile for the first time. He's interesting, so I'd have to leave him there. On speed figures, I'd have to suggest that Officer is up against it, really. There's several horses in here that have done better things on the numbers than him, so I would take him out of my equation. He wouldn't be one for me. Hot as Hell. Not seen since winning at Doncaster last October for Jesse Harrington. Clocked a good speed figure that day of 105. Before that was pretty consistent on the clock as well. Very progressive all the way through his 2-year-old ranks. What he can produce here as a 3-year-old is anyone's guess, but he has to be on the short list just on the weight of that kind of those speed figures that he did last year. Very, very good indeed. Expanded for Aidan O'Brien, ran poorly here at Newmarket behind Ruling Court in the 2000 Guineas, the English 2000 Guineas. Kind of mixed views on his Group 1 win at Newmarket before that, really. The Dewhurst Stakes, I don't really know what to make of that race or that run from him. He wouldn't be for me, just purely based on that run at Newmarket last time out. Scorthy Champ, the same, really. It just ran poorly at Newmarket, and it's very difficult to put your money behind something that ran so poorly last time out. Rashabar, I thought he ran a nice race at Newbury in the Greenham Stakes. Entitled to improve on that. Got a top jockey on board. He's a big price. Yeah, there could be more to come from him. And if you just look through the body of his speed figures last year, he was pretty good as well. Not too far off the mark, so to speak. So he would stay on the kind of the short list of horses that could finish in the top 3 or 4 for me. Windlord, first time cheek pieces for Andrew Balding's horse. Interesting, yeah. He ran. Was that the classic trial? He finished second in that behind Swagman, and now he's stepping back in trip to a mile. Interesting. Look, it's difficult to see him getting involved in the first 3 or 4. But he's interesting. I could see him running well. Stamina won't be a problem for him. But yeah, I think he'll struggle to have the speed for this race. And Comanche Brave, they're suggesting that... Oh, okay, so that's Dunica's horse. So Dunica's runner finished half a length behind Henry Matisse last time out. Probably won't be good enough. So, you're left with obviously the Jolly and then Cosmic Year, Hot as Hell, Rashabar as the 3 that I would look at against him if you were looking to have an each way poke. All right, so there we go. Let's have a look. Let's go to the 115 at Haydock. I won't be dwelling too much on these races. Just a very quick look. This race is on ITV. It's a 14-runner handicap. Great Chieftain didn't do a great deal on the clock last time out, but before that it does have bits and bobs. These two for No Retreat. No Retreat seems to be going the right way, doesn't he? RPR of 99 there. Runs off 97 here. Carries quite a big weight on that basis. Does need to improve again. Not seen since March. Stays a mile well. Yeah, okay. So he's kind of in the mix. Can do no more. 85. Got a nice weight there. 8 stone 8. Couldn't really rule that one out. This is becoming quite a horrible race. That horse ran poorly last time out. Hasn't been seen since October. I'd probably take that one out. Blue for You, look, you never really know what to expect from him. Talented horse on his day, but I wouldn't be backing him. Astor Verde, another one not seen since last October. For Hugo Palmer, not sure I'd be backing that. Looks like he really needs a shower of rain. That's another thing. I haven't looked at the weather. I know that there is rain due on Saturday. Okay, let me just do my due diligence and have a look. Okay, so there's going to be 9 millimeters of rain on Saturday. That obviously changes things slightly, but I'm just having my first look at these races for a little bit of interest for you guys. Latam ran poorly last time out. You couldn't be backing him. Kind Destination didn't run too badly, but needs to improve. Probably up against it off his mark. Astor Verde, I'll probably give him a little bit of respect now for Hugo Palmer, especially if the ground does go soft. He would certainly be one of the ones that would handle it. Local Hero. Stepping up, back up in trip, I'm not too sure. A little bit of a patchy record, wouldn't be too sure about him. Funny draw as well. Empire State of Mind, he's getting on a bit now, isn't he? Running off 82. Capable on his day, wouldn't mind a bit of rain either. Each way possibilities, I suppose, and for that reason I'd put him in, I'd leave him in the short list. Thunder Roar, I think he'll struggle. Dashing Darcy. Poor last time out, will probably struggle, needs a bit more time to come to himself. Stormcatcher, dropping back in trip, yeah, mildly interesting at a massive price. And this Baylor Bay, probably no chance. So we're looking at Stormcatcher, Empire State of Mind, Astor Verde, and Can Do No More, No Retreat, and Great Chieftain as your short list there. So I've managed to get the 14 down to about half of that. And we move on to the 150. Another Heritage Handicap, another 14 runner race. Obviously no hiding places in these races. This is a race just for 3-year-olds. So here I'd be looking for speed figures versus their official ratings and their RPRs. You know, the top of the market immediately. You're looking at a good speed figure here. An RPR of 95 and he runs off a mark of 90. So King Casper is right in this. And I can see why he's at the top of the market. Roger Varian, you can see he clocked a good speed figure, this Teroom of 82, but he only ran to an RPR of 90 and he runs off 90. So that doesn't leave too much room for manoeuvre in his handicap mark. But that said, Roger Varian horses do tend to improve very nicely from run to run. But even so, I would just take him out of my particular equation at this time. Afantico ran very poorly when last seen. I struggle with the Paul and Oliver Cole yard. You know, I do struggle. I think this horse doesn't look particularly well handicapped off 93. The fact that he is where he is in the market means the stable probably think a bit of him though. Dixieland Blues for the Crisfords, again, runs off 85. Hasn't run much beyond that on RPRs. A couple of okay speed figures, nothing special. He wouldn't be for me. Fort George for Ed Walker, Paul Mulrennan. RPR 87, decent speed figure 76, decent weight, goes off 84, he remains on the short list. Transparent, good speed figure there, RPR of 91, runs off 86, he remains on the short list. Thunder Wonder, I'll take him off. I think he's Charlie Johnston horses or Mark Johnston horses in general. You have to respect them as each way candidates for these big races, but they're quite hit and miss. I won't be backing him. I respect one or two bits of his form, but I wouldn't be backing him just on consistency and general profile. So I'll take him off. Bowen Island, drawn in stall 12, been running over 7 furlongs, so stepping up in trip, which is a little bit of a concern for that one. But does have a couple of consistent speed figures. Isn't badly handicapped, so you'd probably just about leave him on the short list, but whether or not he'll stay well enough to beat one or two of these horses would be the concern for him, especially if the rain comes. And the fact that he's been quite comfortably beaten there on soft ground at Doncaster over 7 furlongs, I'll just take him off Bowen Island. Hummam, whatever you want to call him, has only had one start on the turf this year, was quite poor at Ascot, would be enough to put me off him. Sex on Fire for Richard Spencer. Yeah, I mean, he's got one or two decent speed figures here, considering his weight and his mark. But again, you know, probably needs to come down the handicap a little bit to compete with one or two of these lesser exposed types. City of God has a bit to find on the clock and unproven on the turf. Triple Double A for Hugo Palmer, nicely weighted off 8 stone 9, 79, but does need to improve a bit, might just be outclassed here. Our Mighty Mo, 20 to 1, 8 stone 12 for Carl Burke, goes off a mark of 82, has ran up to 84, 83, 83. I'd probably leave him there. Because he's got a little bit of form over a mile and on rain softened ground, and you know, just kind of consistent work there on the clock off his mark. And David Egan as well, a good jockey, not a bad price, so I just leave him there as an outsider option. And Tilted Kilt, happy enough to leave him out. Just on that was a decent run there at Southwell over a mile. But even so, happy enough to leave him out. Probably needs to come down the handicap a little bit. So there we're talking about Our Mighty Mo, Transparent, Fort George, and King Casper. King Casper looks a very interesting one there. Not sure if I'll have a bet in any of these races, to be honest, but they're just a bit of early shortlisting is just a good exercise to go through, and hopefully you guys find it useful. We're in the 225, aren't we? We have 225, 3 and 330. Oh, another couple of races here then. Let me spin through these quite quickly. Running Line, good bits and pieces, good form last season. Ran poorly at Newmarket last time out behind Cinderella's Dream. 9 to 4. Would I want to be backing him on the back of that run? Probably not. To be honest, I can just see that this race is just itsy bitsy. You know, you're looking at horses that have been very inconsistent with their form. Look at the RPRs, 101, 117, 27, 95. Even down here, Diamond Rain, not seen since last November. Very difficult to know what you're going to get out of that horse. Tasmania, again, a little bit of an unknown quantity, not seen since last June. Francophone, again, look, itsy bitsy. Just bits and pieces of form that are very difficult to get a handle on. This is not a race I'll be getting involved in. If anything there, Ambiente Amigo looks, you know, one of these outsiders here, possibly. And Ambiente Amigo looks kind of half interesting, consistent on the clock there, but does kind of need to improve. So yeah, one or two there that you'd show respect to. Running Line's certainly capable on his day. Sir Mark Prescott, you know, if this horse was able to come back to that type of form, that Chantilly form, you know, you'd have to respect that horse. But it does just look a very, very tricky race. Let's keep it moving. The Sandy Lane Stakes Group 2 race for 3-year-olds over 6 furlongs. Candy. Okay. Symbol of Honour, improving really nicely. Won well the other day at Newbury. He's definitely going the right way. Wasn't too keen on Big Mojo's run the other day. Certainly an interesting horse. He's open to improvement. Second run after wind up. I suppose we have to leave him there on that basis. Actually, I might just take him out. Arizona Blaze, consistent horse. Won 2 of his last 3. Won't mind if the rain comes. Pretty decent on the clock when he's well up for it. Yeah, he'll be there or thereabouts. Powerful Glory. Look, this is a tough race. The more you look at it, the more tough it is. Ain't Nobody wouldn't really be for me. First Instinct for William Haggis. Again, some pretty good work here on the speed figures. A little bit to find with the top of the market. And further down, I think a lot of these are just going to be playing for bits and bobs. I think the top of the market here is very, very strong. The top 3 here look really strong. I think one of those 3 will win it, to be honest. You could see something like First Instinct getting into the frame, but it does look to be between those 3. Symbol of Honour, Arizona Blaze, Powerful Glory. Finally, I think the Temple Stakes here should be a good race. American Affair does run. Interesting. Room start at the top of the market, and yeah, I can see why. He was impressive the last day at Newmarket. 5 furlongs, definitely his trip. He won't mind a little bit of ease in the ground if it does rain either, so I can see why he's top of the market. Certainly a horse in good form, certainly capable of running a massive race here. Magira, not a horse I know a great deal about. I wouldn't be able to back her on the best of her speed figures, or just the fact that, you know, I don't know a great deal about her, to be honest. So I wouldn't really have her on my radar. American Affair, I like the fact that connections are of this Jim Goldie trained 5-year-old running here, won very nicely at York last time out. JM Jungle, who finished second that day, travelled really, really well. So yeah, the fact that they're running here shows good intent. Would I want to be backing him first time in a Group 2 like this at 11-2? I'm not so sure. Starlust, very capable on his day. Very, very capable on his day. Finished third in the Nunthorpe behind Bradsill, so we know that this horse can run well. But, you know, just capable of throwing in a little bit of a stinker as well. It's hard to know what to expect from him first time out. Does just add to the quality of this race, though. It is a good race, this. Washington Heights, again, another horse that's very capable on his day. She's quality, highly regarded by Jack Davison. She's ran some cracking races. She'll be a very valuable mare when she retires. She's quality. Has the ability to finish in the first 4 or 5 here, but whether or not she can win it, I don't know. Grand Marquez, probably up against it. Probably everything below these lot are kind of up against it, to be honest. Some consistent numbers on the clock. Twilight Calls is capable on his day. He's getting a bit old now, though. As a 7-year-old, Vadream would want the heavens to open between now and race time to have any type of a chance, but she's capable on her day. Probably getting a little bit old and long in the tooth now for this, so it probably does just concern the likes of Starlust, American Affair and Roomstar, to be fair. I'd give She's Quality something of an each way chance at her best. But yeah, again, it looks pretty well tied up here at the top of the market, and whether or not I'd be having a bet under those circumstances is doubtful. All right, the 130 at Goodwood. Let's just tidy up these last couple of races. Lots of races on ITV on Saturday, so plenty to get stuck into. Could be one to play the place pot, and some each way multiples and things like that. Okay, Rare Change, another 3-year-old handicap, is it? It looks that way. If we just tab these by the best top speed figures, we'll get some interesting results here. Bob Marley. Let's just go with a little bit of a short list here. Brighton Boy. Tuco Salamanca, who was very unlucky 2 starts back at Newcastle and ran well at Ascot last time out. Majestic Wave. Big price, that one. Silver Ghost. Mr. Chaplin. And So Darn Hot, I suppose. Stick that one in. There's a little bit of a short list for you. You can rewind that to get... That's just me. That's just... Look, take it or leave it. It's just my experience. I looked at so many different races. I can spin through the horses that I find interesting quite quickly when I need to. I just don't want this to be an exhaustive video. And I'm just slowly getting back into the whole YouTube thing. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, by the way, because there's plenty more content to come. And hopefully you find it useful if you're trying to learn how to read form and things like that. Lots more to come. Is it a 3:15 than the other race at? It is. The Height of Fashion. Oh yeah, this is a mares and fillies race, isn't it? Yeah. Wow, some pretty poor speed figures in here. Look, 45, 40, 50, 52. This doesn't look a great race at all. Perfect Your Craft would be the best of them so far. Then Star of Light. Trad-Jazz perhaps in the mix as well. Janie Macker's okay, not too bad. Never Let Go, not too bad. My one observation here would be the weakness in the top 3 here. Rhapsody, Queen of Thieves and Music Piece. I'd be looking to take those 3 on. So that's a race I'll be coming back to on that basis. So my short list would be like a reverse short list of those 3 looking a little bit weak and opposable, and on that basis, when I come back to this race tomorrow, I'll be having a much closer look at some of these horses. All right, let's just have a quick look at these 2 last races at Beverley. 2:10, 2:45. One of these could be all unraced horses, is it? Or the Hillary Needler. Okay, good speed. Oh, okay. Okay, not too bad. Argentino Tango comes out best on the speed figures from the top of the market. Let's go a little bit further down. So on speed figures here, you'd go Argentine Tango for Tim Easterby. whether or not you think 4-1 is a good price or not. You know, all of these fillies are open to improvement, and Saucy Jane is also an interesting filly. She's pretty smart, her, and she could improve. She ran well at York the last day. Artista as well. He's quite well thought of by Ollie Sangster, I know that. So yeah, a very tricky race. The speed figures suggest that Argentine Tango is the one they have to beat, probably the Standard Bear. But all of these Nick Bradley horses are all interesting. 245, which I believe will be the oh no, hang on a second. Is it 245? The 2-year-old trophy. Okay. Only 6 runners. Really? Okay, whatever. Naval Light for Carl Burke, newcomer, 13-8 favourite. Don't know anything about this horse. The ones we do know about, Old is Gold finished 3rd behind Military Code last time out, clocked a decent speed figure of 75, and sets a fair benchmark on that basis. You would imagine if Naval Light can run up to well into the RPRs of 80 and beyond and match that, then, you know, he's a pretty smart colt. But Old is Gold is the Standard Bearer. I hope you guys found that useful and can take a few little bits and bobs away from it from your own study for Saturday. Other than that, I'll be looking to do these videos every Thursday. I just want to get this one out a little bit sooner. This one's just gone over 20 minutes. I'm happy for these to run into kind of half an hour long videos and do some kind of longer form content, but I'm kind of up against the clock a little bit more than I would be normally today. As I say, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff, and I hope you take something positive from it. Thank you very much.